I'm JMBJB98. I am Tyro.
I am Hyena Dragon. I am Tyro.
I'm Image. I'm Tyro.
I'm Dr. Turt. I'm Tyro.
I am BT Blackhawk. I am Tyro.
Obviously Echo's in VR. Zero Gravity Frisbee, you play as robots. You got goals, 2 teams of 4, and you got a score in the opposing team's goal. You can play it casually or competitively, and I'd say it can require a lot of, physical and strategic skill. So it's a lot of fun.
Ultimate Frisbee in space. That is it.
Definitely an Ender's Game mixed with Ultimate Frisbee.
Violent space soccer.
Probably a very violent version of Ultimate Frisbee in space.
Echo is exactly what I wanted from VR when I was a kid growing up and hearing about it in movies. And you think, what's this going to be? And you put a headset on, you play Echo, and you're like, oh, it's this. It's Zero Gravity Ultimate Frisbee, but better. And your space robots.
Echo is 2 teams of 4 or 5 people, kind of like soccer in Zero Gravity, where you're throwing a frisbee through a goal, and it is an awesome workout.
It's like water polo in outer space.
Echo is life.
That's it.
It's basically a game of like Ender's Game combined with Tron, combined with my other loves, which are water polo and soccer. So basically, just disc throwing, teamwork, a lot of fun, zero gravity. That's it.
So imagine every team sport, right? Mash them all together, and now you only have your head and your hands to work with. All right, super competitive, trying to put this disc into the diamond without being stopped by anyone else. You get to punch people, you get to dodge, weave, but you can only really use your hands and your head.
Echo is, well, okay, the way that I usually describe it to my friends is it's kind of like Ultimate Frisbee and Zero Gravity. But, it's really more than that. Obviously, it's its own game. But it's a lot about community and teamwork, which is something that I didn't really realize until I joined Tyro, because when you're playing pubs and stuff, a lot of times I would put music in, mute enemies, mute my teammates even, and mute myself, you know what I mean? And you learn how to kind of solo and stuff like that. And so once I joined Tyro, I really learned the value of teamwork and how that can really bring everyone together and, make something more, which is so awesome.
So I had been playing Echo for a couple of months and spent a lot of the time seeking out more mature, older individuals, and I try to friend them and then meet up with them later to basically get a more mature group playing. And I met Dr. Turt, who at the time was too young to actually be a member of Tyro, so he wasn't in Tyro. But he had met a lot of people in Tyro, and he'd get invited into groups that were playing, and he would usually get me in. So my first introduction was through Dr. Turt, and I actually was able to join officially even before he was. And I remember thinking for a while there were so many amazing players, like they said, plat players, playing in Tyro, and I messed up so much in these games, and I felt like I couldn't contribute. I didn't understand why I kept getting invited into these games, but people would sit there and give you a little boost and tell you how to play a little better. And just over time, just the hours of playing with these amazing people, you grow and get better, and you feel like you contribute to the game.
Tyro's a community of people that are more mature than you would find in the typical pubs that, well, they make it more fun to play. I don't really have anything else to say.
It's basically an open house party where the door's open, anyone can come on in. And just, do what you gotta do. Party.
Nice.
Tyro. Tyro is an adult VR community. It is very welcoming to everyone 18 and above who would like to play VR games with others, with other adults. It is a great place to be for new and experienced players. And it is an amazing, amazing community. I absolutely love it.
Tyro is a mature Discord community for Echo players, but I believe it's expanded to other games as well, where, you know, people who really enjoy Echo can come together and, you know, join different events and play together and develop teams, and it's just an amazing community.
Tyro is a mature VR gaming community. And the sole reason that I still play Echo. They have made it harder to play matches in Echo just because I know there's a better way to do it. If not for Tyro, I'd have probably given up on Echo.
It is a group of mature people who join together to get away from the wonky pubs that can make it less enjoyable. But Tyro makes Echo, it makes you want to grind the battle pass when you have Tyro people.
Tyro's a community of really mature people who've joined together to kind of play this game and a number of other games that they love in a kind of a friendly, non-toxic way while still maintaining some element of competitiveness. So it's just basically an opportunity to really grow and as well as escape from toxic atmosphere that can be found throughout the rest of the game. It's been a lot of fun and honestly given me like a new life in Echo. I was, you know, kind of like most people, I was ready to quit because I was sick and tired of playing pubs. And then I found Tyro, which basically changed it for me.
Tyro is the single most welcoming community I've encountered on Discord, period. Essentially, it's the biggest redeeming feature of the VR community because it provides a safe place for everyone to learn and grow and experience and explore together without any of the hostilities you're going to encounter with public matches or with small children or with, just it's the best.
Pug? I think it means public game, right? Pickup game. It means pickup game. Right?
And Chuckles, what is a pub?
That is a public game where we all get together and go and play in pubs.
What's the difference between a pub and a pug?
Oh, everything. It's everything. When we play pucks, whatever. All right. So we are adults and they are just kids and annoying and screaming and just it's hard to play pubs.
I heard about Tyro through Kay and Lolly B. I was playing in a pub like one time late at night, and then I loaded back into the social lobby, and I heard just like two adult voices, and I was like, oh my god, adults. And I literally went up to them, and I remember I was like, are you guys adults? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, do you want to party with me? And then so we partied up, we played a few pubs, and then they told me about Tyro. And I was like, you know, a little bit skeptical, and I ended up joining, and then here I am.
Well, I've been in Tyro for a really long time, so I'm not perfectly certain, but I believe it was through my best friend, the Mushroom Ninja. And I've been really happy playing with everyone since.
I was playing a VREL match. I was captain of a team, and I had been dealing. This was like the 26th match, 25th match I'd played the whole season, and I was, sick and tired of scheduling with people who didn't want to schedule. It was a whole mess, and I was complaining to the other captain because they were really organized and it was quackless. And we were chatting, and I was saying like, I'm just sick and tired of constantly planning around children, and it's just a mess. And he just said, I remember the message just saying, "Yo, I got you." And then I got a link to Tyro, and I was like, what is this? And then I had to go through 3 rounds of authentication. Someone had to vouch for me. It was a whole mess. And it was just really exciting because I got to meet people who were awesome. That's it.
I believe it was Chuck who picked me up. We were playing on a pub, and I believe he was on the enemy team. He was the only adult filled with a bunch of kids. And I remember I returned to the lobby with him somehow. We partied up, and then he kept begging me for like a week for joining Tyro. I caved in, and then we're here.
I saw Tyro in this one person's server who's a content creator for Echo. And I thought, hey, you know what? Why not give it a try? I hop in, you get to see all these cool names running around, super daunting at first. But once you get in there, there's so many different games you could play. And I hopped into Friday Frenzy as my first one. And it was a bit it's a bit scary, all these platinum players running around, and head was spinning, but it was still very, very fun.
I heard about Tyro from pubs. I was pubbing with a pre-Tyro friend, and this super nice dude named Naticus N showed up, and they were talking about an adult VR community, no toxic children, people teaching you how to play a little bit. They didn't have an academy yet, but it's definitely a game changer. And my first event in Tyro was a Monday marathon, an hour straight. I thought I ruined my headset with sweat. Good times.
I found out about Tyro when it was my first couple of weeks into this game, and I joined the official Echo server thinking I'll look for some advice to get better. And one of the nice guys there suggested a mature VR community, which I joined by the link, got introduced. And my first experience in Tyro was a midweek madness event. It was a 5v5, overwhelming. Everyone's so well playing, and I didn't know what to do. And one of the players got me onto a cloud, one of the geos here, and talked to me mid-match. He was on an opposing team, and he's like, calm down. That was one of the most memorable first-time experiences in-game with the community, and it was amazing.
Oh, I thought about experiences. So I enjoy every event. I really do. I like how people play like in the morning, at noon, in the afternoon, in the evening, or even at night, like all together. It's really nice. I like it. And every time when I off work, I join. I like to play. That's it.
So I have a lot of Tyro stories, but I would probably piggyback off of the academy, the relationships that we built while learning to play the game. We continued our team with at least 4 of us afterwards, so we've turned into some pretty close friends. In addition to just playing together every day.
Man, I remember the first time I played an event. It was a lot to take in. Everybody was really good, and like I was used to just playing with public like games with all the little kids, and being in a room full of adults was like really odd because I was used to being screamed at all the time. But I would never go back.
It actually was my very first game with Tyro. It was madness. I didn't do anything, but everybody were really, really nice to me. I played with Nolan, and I remember him because he was, what do you call it? No worries guy, because I didn't remember his name, but I remember him always saying no worries, because I really was bad. But everybody were extremely nice to me, so I do remember it. It was really bad.
Nolan is very chill.
Nolan is the best, but I do remember him as a no worries guy, because that's literally the first thing I've ever heard from him.
Gotcha. All right.
Winning the season 1. What was it called again?
The academy.
Academy. The Academy.
Season 1 finals.
Season 1 finals, yes. and just practicing with the team and just everyone supporting me. And it didn't matter whether I wanted to sit out or not. They made me play, and it was such a learning experience, and I'll never forget it.
Coming second place in the Tyro Charity Cup 1 was pretty epic. I got to play with like Psychotic and Zeus, the 2 diamond players, and I was the one scoring. I was actually scoring. I was the one doing it, but I was being heavily assisted by Psychotic and her absolute boss stacks. But anyways, yeah, that's about it.
Well, winning the second charity cup, I'm sorry. Taking the second place in the second charity cup was pretty amazing. I got to play with the people I've never played before, but one. And we actually built up pretty good chemistry, and we took a second place. It was pretty amazing.
I want to change mine.
Hold on.
I changed mine
okay.
to winning the second Tyro Charity Cup. That was probably the biggest high. Oh my god.
Ooh. It's a pretty loaded question if Echo's affected me. Of course Echo's affected me outside of game world. Yeah, in the meat space where the flesh lives. I'm more physically active in the real world. I'm doing things. I'm not living boring pandemic sedentary lifestyle. It was a major source of cathartic output for me for a long time. There wasn't, people everywhere around. It was you jump into Echo and there's people, and it made a drastic impact on my real life. It made it manageable and bearable when it wasn't at times.
And I can explain. I'm actually really grateful for it.
Yeah, I think everything is just. I'm bigger gamer, even bigger than my own son, and he's 12. So it's kind of funny. I'm like between my colleagues from work, I'm like Mother of the Year because of this game. No, I like friends here, and I'd like to meet a few of them actually. If we live like closer, would be nice. That's it.
Yeah, it's been really nice for helping losing some weight. It's a huge calorie burner, just running it for like 3 hours a day. I drop a huge amount, and it's a really healthy, fun activity to do.
I am the healthiest I've ever been since college, and I was a swimmer in college. And just to play with my 2 boys in here has been incredibly amazing. And they got to Diamond for a hot second, and really proud of them.
Definitely. I remember when I was first asked to join a VRML team, and I was worried that it was going to be too much of a time commitment. And so I ended up going ahead with it. And I was like, you know what, if it's, takes up too much time, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to end up dropping it. And then it was so much fun that I was like, all right, I think this is a part of my life now. I'm going to, make room for it and carve out some space.
The game.
It's also given me an opportunity, one, to learn how to navigate through Discord, which helps me, believe it or not, communicate with my children even better because they use Discord versus their actual phones. And then also with the other groups I've been able to join, ones that are getting into more of like the creator type roles. So I'm getting back into doing video editing and things of that nature. So it's a fun world to jump back into.
I met my friends. I met them in real life. I met Nauticus. Nauticus is right there. I met meeting people, really. It's awesome. Like, I drove, 4 hours to go meet 2 people in Atlanta. Like, just because I wanted to go meet them, because I met them online. It's cool. It was awesome. Just meeting people.
Absolutely. It's become one of my biggest passions. I've helped start huge communities that I'm really proud of.
100%. So, right on whenever I about to go to sleep, right? Just about to fall asleep, get these twitches. And I'll be throwing the disc, slapping off geos straight into my wall. Scares me so much. And just jolt back awake, fall back asleep, do it 10 seconds later. Oh my god, it is such a weird feeling. Must have built up a lot of muscle memory for that to happen. But, oof.
First major one is that my girlfriend now hates having gotten me an Oculus for my birthday because I play this too much and I break a lot of things in the living room and I yell a lot and I've hit her dresser a lot. And then in terms of like other people have said, it's basically forced itself into my life in terms of like how much I'm willing to contribute towards it. You know, at first it was meant to be just like an hour every other day or something, and now it's like 2 or 3 hours a night. I love it. I love it so much, and yeah, it's changed. It's changed a lot for me.
Yes, definitely. Definitely got me more active. Probably the only sport I've ever put any effort into. It's very much a sport. I've lost about 40 pounds. I'm in better shape and I'm moving quite a bit. Also, all my friends and coworkers have been subject to watching videos of Echo, hearing me talk about it, me trying to get them to come and play. And definitely I got a wide range of friends throughout pretty much the whole world at this point that I'd have never met.
Echo definitely affected me in real life. Starting with echo-related dreams, where you fly, you miss shots, you score, do saves. Yeah, a lot of echo-related dreams. I made a few good friends that I keep in touch with all of the time. I spread the word about Echo too, but with how it affected me, just like in general, in real life, would be just like activity levels are definitely up higher. I get to socialize a lot more than I did in the recent few years, and it's been just a general amazing impact on both physical and mental health for me.
I am the precise one, and I am Tyro.
I'm Spike 487. I am Tyro.
I'm Mary, and I'm Tyro.
I'm Chuckles, and I am Tyro.
I'm Yo Romeo. I am Tyro.
I'm Kay and I'm Tyro.
I am Nagini. I am Tyro.
I'm Marfin and I'm Tyro.
I am the Mushroom Ninja, and I am Tyro.